Hey, Sky here. First off, I just want to say thank you for grabbing the communication reset map. I hope you found it valuable. If you're watching this video and you've not got the map and would like the map, drop into the comments, DM me, email me, and I'll send it right over. Absolutely no problem. So if you're here, I'm guessing it's because of one of three things. You're either done with misalignment, frustrated by misinterpretation, and just over all the meetings, the pointless meetings that, well, you don't need to have because you've already said it 3 times. I'm also going to guess, though, that you're a bit curious. You're a bit curious because you understand that you don't need to talk more. You don't need to learn how to speak better. You understand that communication is part of your leadership package, and you just want to be the best leader you can be for your team. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have a quick breakdown that shows you how the reset map can help you turn your messages into something tangible, into something that actually moves people, but moves them faster. Now, before we jump into the map, I just want to talk about the real reason communication breaks down. I'm going to be very clear for a moment and say that it's not because you're unclear, and it's not because your team's not listening to you. It's that arguably your message, the one that you're delivering, the one that you're saying, hasn't been structured to survive the moment you stopped talking. Psychologically, we are built to take an information and then process it after the fact because this is very well documented that we don't want to let people down. Now, we might not mind letting people down, but we don't want to let people down. So when you're delivering a message, your people, the people that are listening to you, they don't want to let you down. So naturally, what they're going to do is they're going to nod, smile, say, good, got it, all good, and then go and process it. And what that then looks like is roll the clock 2 weeks, 3 weeks, maybe it's only a few days. What you've got is 3 different interpretations, none of which were correct to start with. And I know you know that's not zero forward momentum, but that's a -3. So let's be clear. Again, it's not you, and it's not a you problem. It's a systems problem. And that's what the communication reset map was built to solve. So as you would have seen by now, there's 3 elements to the map. The first is the foundation. So let's start with foundation. This is your context. This is the why part of your message. So before you go about sharing any message, any communication, any information, please, you need to set the scene. You need to answer the questions such as, why does this matter? Why now? Why you? Why them? Because if people don't understand the why, if they don't understand where they are in the bigger picture, so to speak, they're just going to go and make assumptions. And those assumptions are going to be quite costly. So a quick tip is to try to open important message or key messages or any message really with something such as, here's the context, or here's why this matters right now. Because a single sentence like that is going to flip people from passive to active, from listeners to receivers. The second part of the map is the pillars, right? So this is your core message, right? This is the whole point of what you're delivering. This is the essence, the information, the key points. This is what you want them to retain, what you need them to retain. Now, most of us in the moment, we're either going to say too much or we're going to say it too fast. Because, well, we live it, we breathe it, we eat it. It's second nature to us. So we just ramble through it. The problem is that clarity in your communication doesn't come from volume or speed or quantity. It comes from structure. So what I'd like you to do is to take your message and I want you to break it into 2 or 3 simple chunks, bite-sized chunks. I want you to use phrases such as, these are 3 things to note, or let's simplify it into 2 priorities, or this are the key elements to take away from this. Because that's going to create a mental scaffold. That's going to give something for somebody to hold on to. And when you repeat the pillars consistently, you're going to start building an alignment without having to repeat yourself. Because people will start to pick up, oh, that's the pillar. Now, the third part is pathway. And this is something I find people miss all the time. Because this is where you close the loop. You need to be answering questions such as, Where's the next step? Who owns it? When is it happening? This is the accountability part of your message. This is the ownership part of the message. Because if that's not clear, you're not actually ending the conversation. You're leaving it on a cliffhanger. And to be honest, someone's always going to land up carrying the fallout, and it's arguably going to be you. One of my favorite sort of low-lift leadership hacks, if you will, that I give to the leaders I work with is at the end of a meeting or a message, whichever, I want you to ask this question. And then this is the frame of the question. What's your first move after this? So don't necessarily ask that particular question, but that's the frame of the question. So you need to take that and build it into, how would I say that to my team? How would I say that in my industry? How would I say that in my tone? So it could be something like, all right, what's the next step here? Or, all good, we're aligned. What's your next move then? Or, you've now got the plan. What happens next on your side? What that does is it takes people into the accountability. It takes people into the responsibility mode, because they have the pure clarity around the fact that you're not just delivering a message, you're actually creating a tangible shared responsibility in the moment. So that's the reset map. 3 elements: foundation, pillars, pathway. And so that's your context and your why it matters, followed by your core message, right? But in digestible chunks, followed by the clear next steps, the ownership piece, the accountabilities piece. And when you use the structure, hopefully what you're going to see is that you're no longer hoping people get it, because you've actually structured and built the message so that it lands, so that's received the first time. So this is what I work with leaders in my programs, whether one-on-one or in group sessions. And what they've noticed, that even just using it once a week, they see less confusion, they see more traction. They feel like their communication isn't just sounding good, but it's actually working for them. So now I have a favor to ask. Give it a go. Just give it a go. If you have any questions, if you're not sure about how to implement it, though, drop into the comments, DM me, email me. I'll always respond. And now, it's over to you. You've got the structure. Have a go.